Hey, ladies, evolutionary women all around the world. This is a feelings check-in conversation with my very dear friend, Sarah Needham, who lives in Germany and is British and is amazing and helps women in technology claim their power and really make a difference and live the lives and have the careers that they want to have. And diversity in tech is so, so important. And Sarah, you got me present recently. Like you were sharing quite vulnerably to
I
me
called you
about
out.
some work. Yeah. 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 You were sharing like, hey, what's that feeling? I was like, oh yeah, what am I feeling? And then when I was asked the question, how am I feeling? I was like, wait, hold on a second. First, so what is the catalyst? So let's actually go to the source, because this can be at any point, this could be like this could be, not believing Trump's going to get elected, he gets elected, not believing Brexit's going to happen, Brexit happens, not believing, Putin's going to invade Ukraine, and like then it happens. Like I could see it was going to happen, that American women were going to lose our rights over our own bodies and have our uteruses be the property of the state, a state, whether that's the federal government or a state. And I saw it coming, and yet still I was shocked at first, and then went into a kind of denial. So like, I'm not going to look. I would call this the numb phase, like when I was just denying that I have emotions. It's like suppress, suppress. I'm like not going to look. And then anger, and then a bit back to shock, and then a bit more anger, and then frustration. And I went through like a real range. And Sarah, you pointed out to me like, oh, we've got a lot more than just five. You're talking about five emotions, Catherine. We've actually got a heck of a lot more than five. And I was like, we do? Really? And you've done a lot of work on this, Sarah. So how are you feeling today? And also, what are you feeling being expressed by women today?
Good point. Yeah. So I come at this probably as you know, from a slightly different angle, in the fact that what happened in America was a trigger to me because of the miscarriages and therefore abortions, like medical abortions I had to have when my body didn't recognize it. Plus the fact that both of my daughters are what you would say anonymously born. So their mothers had, didn't choose to have a baby, but they chose to give up their baby in a way that they could. So they did it safely. But my fear with all of this is that we're making normal people criminals for normal everyday life experiences, which to me feels wrong. And very much from the place that I come from my background, it feels wrong. And so this is why I had quite a physical reaction. I noticed Catherine on the other side having a physical reaction, being an American and being, very present with what's going on. So hence, we thought this conversation would be quite good to obviously open this up, to really look at what emotions are, because part of what I do and what's important for me is having courageous conversations, allowing emotions into the conversation. Because so often as humans, and obviously I work mainly with businesses, in business, we try and push emotions away. And actually, all we're doing is pressurizing the system by pushing emotions away. We need to give people space and give ourselves space and the allowance to just let emotions be. And to always go into, okay, what's it telling me? What am I learning? And, looking forward, well, what does that mean that I want to do going forward? Is there a change in how I'm being or what I'm trying to achieve? Which this is helping me to see probably more clearly. Because it is these difficult emotions, like you were just saying, that we go through that actually inform us, that change us, that, shift us, I almost say, in terms of who we are. Life experience shift, which means you fundamentally can't unlive that experience. So it's about, okay, so now what does it present to me? What's present? And like you, I've been through this kind of frustration, anger, and now I'm sort of almost into the learning phase again. Okay, so what else is going on around us that we need to be present for? How could we have seen this or been more present? What action could we, have or should have maybe been taking to be present with it sooner?
Yeah. So two things about that, Sarah. So one, this isn't a skill we're taught, like identifying feelings. Like if you're parenting children right now, you might actually be learning this from yourself because you wouldn't have been taught it. I remember my own mother trying to teach me. I remember my own mother asking me at 5 years old, like, so like, what are you feeling? And I would just say, fine. Cause like, I knew she wanted like, cause I didn't have the skill and she didn't have the skill to teach. And we were both like, we don't really know what's going on here. And I'm just going to say, fine.
Right.
because,
and that is how we're trained also. If you ask anybody when you meet them in the corridor, whatever, we all say, yeah, we're fine, or yes, it's okay, or but what does that really mean?
Yeah, because I think there's a fear, and that's why we get the message that like feelings aren't okay, because feelings don't invite solutions, but it's important to express them. You actually have to express them so you can identify them, get out of the way, make peace with them so that you can get into action. And as a society, particularly in the West, we want to jump straight onto the solutions. And guess what? That's the masculine. Jumping straight on the solutions. Like, how can we fix these emotions? How can we solve these emotions? And emotions aren't here to be fixed or solved or anything to do with, except expressed and released so that you can actually get into the action.
Insights.
And that's
yeah.
And that's so kind of what I'm arriving at now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying, because when I was going through burnout and I was seeing a counsellor, it was just prior to my mum passing away. And we were trying to unpick some of the things I'd been through and how I ended up, because it came like as a shock to me. I mean, burnout, well, how did this happen? And actually, all the amber traffic lights I'd jumped, I'd seen them, but I'd chosen, because I'd always been able to ignore them, I can carry on. And when I was in counselling, one of the things we recognised, I was really good at recognising positive emotions. I could, name lots of positive emotions, and I knew what they felt like. I knew how to be with them. But anything bad, anything negative was just in a box. It was like, yeah, that's bad. And A, I'd try and push it away, but B, I had no vocabulary around what is this emotion? What does it feel like? Where am I feeling it in my body? What's, all this other stuff. I had absolutely nothing there. And I had to almost go back to primary school grade and start writing out these emotions. I remember her telling me, go make a page per emotion. So I wrote down anger and I drew a color next to it. And I started, trying to get into, and it sounds completely crazy, but it was the only way I could think to help me create the gradients, if you see what I mean. Emotions are a rainbow of color, but it's only a rainbow if you can see the different colors. So it was trying to help me understand. And that was one of the things that just triggered when you said that, like this activity that I did when I was actually in the middle of burnout.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So, for some of us, this might be new to us. For some of us, we might be more experienced in identifying our emotions. And ladies, my invitation would actually be just try it for a week, once a day. To actually just look, like brushing your teeth. Like, how am I feeling right now? Like, just like, oh, could it be this? Could it be this? Is it that? Is it that? Like, and just start that inquiry. And also, if you'd like a safe space to have this kind of conversation, this is what we have circles and JIFU for, so that women can come together and actually share, this is what I'm dealing with right now. Like, this is how I feel about it, and actually create an environment of sharing and like support nourishment. We call them social vitamins, like nurturing each other through challenge, reflection. Yeah,
expressing yourself.
We have that opportunity on Sunday, the 24th of July, from 5 to 6 p.m. UK time, 12 Eastern Standard Time, 9 West Coast time. So if that's the kind of conversation you'd like to be in with Sarah and I and other evolutionary women from around the world, share, connect, get it off your chest, express, and commune together as evolutionary women, that's my invitation. So the link is above, and we hope to see you there. and or on another future broadcast. So thank you so much for watching. Sarah, thank you so much for this co-creation and being at the source of our conversation today. It's so great being with you. And we'll see you all real soon. Take care. Bye.